All right. Good morning. How you guys doing? Welcome to Marc live. This is our first episode of our new show, our new episode, which welcome to Monday morning coffee. I hope that you have your coffee so I can talk to you about this. And what we decided to do is that every Monday, there's so many people which are unhappy about going back to work, and I've got like already some people which are logging in right now. Welcome. I see Dave is there, Mariko is there. Say hi. Jason just joined in as well. Good morning, guys. Like on Monday morning, there's so many people which are so unhappy about going to work, and for me, I love Mondays. Like Mondays for me is like, okay, people are going back to what they need to do. Andy Stone is there. Welcome, Andy. And I just want to start doing what I'm doing and helping people find that joy, find that peace, find that love about what you're doing. Because when you are aligned and you love what you're doing, the days are just fun. It doesn't matter if you're Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You are looking for every single day. And that's one of the things that I wanted to do, is to start our Mondays and having a little chat with you guys and just put you into the right mindset. Mariko is saying good morning. She's a fellow consultant actually. And she's on the other side of Canada in Vancouver. And her story is great. Actually, I'm going to do a piece with her. I'm going to see her next week. And we're going to have a piece which we're going to post on this thing. And just seeing where she's coming from and how she's crushing it right now. And what I want to say to you is, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. It doesn't matter how bad your situation is right now. Good morning, Danduin. You can create the type of life and you can design it exactly the way you anticipate it. Like to the dot. And that's the beauty about that. And I want to use this platform and I want to use this particular morning coffee with me to put you into that right mindset. Peter Sauer, great personal coach, living in the area where I'm living right now. Hi, Peter. Good to have you here. And it's all start with the mindset. It all starts as well with having this sense of direction. When you're waking up in the morning and you know why you're waking up and you know what you're going to do, everything becomes so easy. Everything becomes so smooth. But most of you guys, and when I say you, I'm talking about like the majority of people, actually 95% of the population, they are waking up and they go to work to make a paycheck, right? They go to work to pay their rent. They go to work because they need to pay their credit card. I mean, that is not motivating. You cannot be in that state and thinking that you're going to be productive. As a matter of fact, you are surviving, and survival is not good. I mean, like that's part of our instinct to survive. So you don't even need to do that, right? As a human being, we are programmed to survive. So that thing's going to take care of itself. You don't have to put any effort and any thoughts into that. What you need to do is you need to thrive. And that needs attention. That needs work. That needs to have a goal. That needs to have vision. That needs to have the right mindset, being positive and all those things. And it's funny because I remember a friend back home, she's like, yeah, but like all these positive things, and it's still, there's some crap still happening in my life. Yeah, but being positive, it doesn't mean that you're saying like, oh, I'm positive today, that everything is changing. That's not what it means. Being positive is to forming the habit of being positive. And that is where that it's becomes a little bit more complicated, because we've been programmed, for a lot of us, And we're doing this actually through our parents, and bless their heart. I'm looking at my parents. They did the best they could with what they had. But if you're not making the choice, you're not making the decision, you know what? I'm going to change that. I'm going to change this, and I'm going to start living the way I'm anticipating of living. And I'm going to create the life by design, right? I'm going to design this life based on what I want to experience every single day. And you make that decision, everything's going to shift. Everything's going to change. And then you're going to start having a life which is worth living. Now, how many of you thought that, you know what, I should end it? Like, this life is not worth it. Because this is a thought that a lot of people are experiencing many, many times. And they thinking, you know what, maybe I should just go. I don't want to live. I don't want to be on this planet. I'm not of any service for anybody which is here. So if you don't have a goal, if you don't have a vision, if you don't have something to go after, then you will have those type of thoughts which are coming because you don't feel a purpose. You don't feel you belong. Andy is saying, like Earl Nightingale says, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Absolutely. I absolutely love this definition. It's probably the best definition of success. And it doesn't matter what you are. You could be a mom which wants to stay home, and you are becoming the very best mom that you can be, and you're becoming better at it every single day. Well, you are successful. That is what success is. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal, a worthy goal. So you're advancing towards something that you truly want, and you're becoming better at it every single day. That is the representation of success. So I invite you to truly have this mindset of say, okay, what do I want? And then write it down on paper. I mentioned this many, many times. If you're not writing down what you want, you are mixing this with 60,000 other thoughts. And those 60,000 thoughts, hey Jorge, welcome my friend. If you are mixing this with 60,000 thoughts, well, it's just one of them. But in order for you to truly be aligned, to truly have those thoughts and be in harmony with really what you want, you need to write down that goal. My buddy Roy is just logged in. Good to see you here, Roy. So when you're taking and you're extirping that thought and you put it down on paper in something in writing, right, that you can read, now you just isolated that thought. And by isolating the thought, what's happening is now all of a sudden this is the very first step to start working on that thought. So that is the principle of writing goals. That's exactly what it is. So that is the first step. And what I recommend you to do is really to take advantage of taking a moment, and that could be a moment that you're taking every single day, that you're just writing your goal down. Now that repetition of seeing your goal, of seeing yourself being in harmony with what you want, writing it down on a piece of paper and going after that, then it's gonna help you to have this thought like very much aligned with what you want, and aligning and identifying this thought and being very, very clear about it. The clearer that you're thinking about this thought, the faster this will come into your experience. Because every great leader agreed on one specific thing, is we become what we think about. We become what we think about. So the more you're thinking about something all the time, the more this thing's going to become your reality. And it will become your reality with certainty. I mean, I have zero doubt about that. Zero. That if you're thinking about something all the time, the very same thing, that thing is going to become your reality. There's no other way, because your mind is like a cybernetic mechanism. when it focus, when it's locked in, like a missile, right? It's locked in on something. It will look for any type of ways to make that becoming your reality. So again, this is the idea of the goal. So Monday morning, when you start your day, you have your cup of coffee, you're feeling good, you're just like, okay, or you don't feel so good. From the moment that you're going to start looking at your goal, you will see that the going to the office, going to a job that you don't like, will become less stressful or less painful because there's a purpose behind it. Like, I'm doing this because I want this goal to become my reality, right? So that is the very first thing that you need to do. Now, I'm going to read a little piece of literature for you, which is a little deep. I'm not expecting you to understand this right away, but I would like to discuss about it. And if you want to put a comment in there, I really invite you to do so. But that piece of literature, last week I was studying with Bob, which I'm very fortunate to be part of his inner circle and studying with him very closely. And while I was studying myself at night, the next and I was, just lost you there. So I was studying at night and I was thinking about that particular phrase, and I was like, I need to ask Bob about that, because to me there's something into this sentence that I need to understand. And while I was thinking about it, the next morning when we studied, Bob started with exactly that very sentence, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And it just brought to my attention that what I was thinking was exactly in line with the thought, the question I had. What he probably received the very same question, because he came and decided to discuss about that particular sentence. So that has to do with your goal as well, okay? So we must not make ourselves dependent on any particular form of wealth, or insist on its coming to us through some particular channel. So for instance, let's say that you have a goal, you want to earn money or whatever it is, right? You cannot become dependent on that. So my question to him was yeah, but we're so focused on the goal and how it's gonna come. It's yeah, but you don't know how this goal is gonna come into form. You have no idea what will happen for you to receive what you want to receive, for you to receive the good that you want. So it's really, because if you do have a particular way, it says, okay, my goal is going to come this way, or it's going to happen this way. What you're doing is you start limiting yourself. You start limiting yourself to the possibilities, right? And you're going to shut out the form of wealth. And now wealth can come into all kind of different form. Now it's not just money. You have wealth that you can experience through relationship. You have wealth that you can experience through knowledge. You have wealth that you can experience through your family. So there's all kind of different type of wealth that exists. But we've been conditioned and programmed that wealth normally comes only through money. Money is a tool. It's one part of it. Now, is money important? Damn right it's important. If you want to live into this world that we're living, where that you want to have access to the internet and you want to be able to listen to me and have the mobile device that you can listen to this, you need to have money, right? But that's not what wealth is. It's just one piece of the equation. So, but we must, and this is good, we must enter into the spirit of it. What does that mean? Entering into the spirit of the wealth. Well, the title of this text, it's called The Spirit of Opulence. Now, what is opulent? Opulent is abundance in all aspects. Like being opulent, having an opulent lifestyle, mean that you have abundance in everything you're touching. I mean, everything you're touching turns to gold, right? So the relationship that you're having are golden relationships. When you're working, the clients you're touching, those clients they just expanding. They talk to someone else, and then someone else is bringing another person into your experience as well. So you're starting experiencing something else. So every time that you're continuing living into this state of opulence, what will happen is that you're starting to live into the spirit of life. If you think about life, life is abundant. Like there's no lack into life. If you go into nature, there's never lack, right? That doesn't exist. There is abundance. Now you're going to say, yeah, but what if this animal cannot eat and they live into this despondency and so on and so forth. But there's always enough for everything. For instance, let's say that an animal which has the hard time to eat, but that animal is going to become weak and it's going to serve as food for another one, right? So there's abundance there into this, and I know it might be a little bit difficult for you to understand, but at the same time, that is truly what abundance is all around you. Okay, so that is what the spirit of life is, and when you are living this way, you will always have everything that you need, but you need to start exactly where you are at this particular moment, the way that you are right now. And from this state, then you're going to start creating this state of mind, this state of abundance, of opulence, living like Solomon already. If you would live into the poorest country, I'm from the poorest country in the world, Haiti. I'm born there, right? And probably because my dad had this thought that he will have a better life for us, I had the chance of growing up in Quebec, Canada. Like Canada's, my opinion, one of the greatest country in the world. And I wanted to have a lifestyle which was to my thoughts, which I moved to Mexico at the beach, right? Now people's going to say Mexico is a third world country. No, my friend, it's very, very rich country. Now, based on the G8 and all those things, there's another story there. But this is a really, really rich country. Like there's a lot of money in Mexico. The richest man in the world lives here. So it just shows you that living in abundance, living an opulent lifestyle, it's start with your mind. And that's where you have to go first. I see that there's I have like some thoughts from Andy. I'm going to get back to you in a moment, Andy, okay? Let me just finish my thought here. But how are you going to live this opulent lifestyle? It starts by one thing. And it starts by having your attention into the giving. So the more you give, and then you're going to find this in all the great writing, right? In the Bible, in the Bhagavad. No, I think that I said it wrong there, but it's one of the great books in Asia. But all the great books, they're going to say that you need to first start by giving. The more you give, the more you'll receive. That is part of the law of abundance, right? That is part of that opulent lifestyle. And whatever you give, you still keep. You don't give anything away. That doesn't exist. This is a false concept. And I remember when I was younger, I grew up with two sisters. So when you're eating, you have to always share. And some of you can relate, right? Because I know that some of you have multiple siblings. So, but everything that you're giving, you are keeping. You're keeping it at the spiritual level. And that's something that we don't get taught. And nobody's teaching you those things. They don't explain how it works. So it's very, very difficult for us to comprehend that you must give, and the more you give, the more you shall receive. That is living in a state of opulence, in a state of abundance. And you've got to continuing cultivating the feeling, right? The feeling of opulence. And if you feel this way, you will continue to receive in an abundant manner. So that is the thought that I wanted to share with you today, based on your goal. Because if your goal is not, first of all, clear, you're not gonna have a sense of direction, right? You're gonna wake up in the morning, you're gonna have this feeling of despondency, you're gonna have this feeling that, oh my God, I want to do this, oh, I hate my job, and all those things, and then you're just floating. And then when you float, you're not productive. When you're not productive, you're not happy, and you're not going to be able to create this type of great abundance in your life. So first thing is the goal, having that vision, being clear, okay? First step. Second step is you've got to be open to the possibilities. Because you never know where your next client's going to come from. You never know how that you're going to attract the right person into your experience. You never know how you will create the condition to reach your goal. And sometimes those goals, like you're creating goals and they look kind of impossible. Because you don't see how this goal is going to happen. You don't see how it's going to manifest. Don't worry about that part. This is not you to decide how it's going to happen. What you need to decide is what you want first. That's the first step. Okay? So you need to decide, what is it that you want? What is it that you want to experience? And from that standpoint, then you're going to start to be able to create the condition and invite the people that's going to help you to reach the goal. Okay? So that is the very first step. This is what I wanted to talk about this morning. And then like you starting your day like with this great feeling. I mean, this is Monday morning. You're alive. You know, some people in some countries, they're not alive. They're dead. You know, they have no possibility. They have no, they have the feeling that they have no experience or no chance to get out of that crappy situation. There's one guy that is writing to me and he's telling me how bad his situation is, and I just stop saying that. You know, if you are putting yourself into that despondency situation and believing that this is where you are and this is what's going to happen to you, well, you're going to continue reproducing that, because we become what we think about all day long. Very simple. So let me go back to some of the things. So Andy was saying, if you are working toward a worthy ideal, then you are a success. The key is, what is your worthy ideal? I absolutely agree with that. You know, you've got to think about what is it that you want. Okay, then Andy was talking about, this is the ABC type goal structure. This is exactly what I realized when I did it. I found the conviction to take massive action. It's perfectly okay to not know how things will happen or how wealth will come to you. You just need to find a pure conviction that this is what you want to do. Absolutely. It all starts with that. And my sister's there and she doesn't speak much English. So right now she's a little confused. Like, I don't understand what you're saying. So have a good day. Je t'aime, Émilie. Passe une belle journée. So, by the way, I didn't speak any English when I came to Mexico. Right? I was only 27 at the time, and I just decided, you know what, I'm going to learn a language. I'm going to learn this language, and I learned English and Spanish. And now most of my work is in English and Spanish. So, reality again, if you want to have something, you just decide to do it mentally. You give yourself a command and you follow it. Actually, our director, our international sales director, just gave us and quote us that this morning. And he said, you know, discipline is the ability to give yourself a command and follow it. So if you give yourself the command right now, to find ways to get to your goal, you will have insight. You will have thing and situation that's going to come. And those are insight. You have to be aware that all those things are going to come into your life, and you will have everything necessary for you to reach the goal. So that is what I wanted to share this morning. I don't know if some of you have some questions that you would like me to answer and comment on, because this morning coffee, this Monday morning coffee, I want you to be pumped. Like, Monday is a fantastic day. If there's a day for me which is used to be a great day and now it's a little bit sad, it's Friday, because I know that everybody goes into sleeping mode. I mean, I'm going ballistic. I'm going ballistic on Friday when everybody goes onto the sleeping mode, and the only thing they want to do is to party. I mean, seriously, you're living for Friday to go party, which I was there. I know exactly what you're referring to. But this is wasting your life, because there's another 5 days during the week where that you can be productive, you can be like the very best version of yourself, and you don't do anything with those 5 days. Why? Because you're waiting for Monday, for Friday to party. And then Sunday you're a mess, right? Because like you party for 2 days. So you all messed up. You try to recover. Monday is shit, because now reality just strike back. And then you just try to build up your confidence or your thoughts or your health. So Friday you can go party like a crazy person again, right? So this is why I want you to really see, and when you're going toward the ideal, every single day that you have on this planet is a blessing. And every single day that there's a singer that says, every single day I'm 6 foot. I think that's Pitbull. Said every single day 6 foot above ground. No, yeah, I'm above ground. Like, it's a good day, and it should be. Every time that you're on this planet and you look at all the miracles that's happening around you, you should be blessed. It should be a blessing for you. You should be willing to just embrace all this, and knowing what you can do in a day. That is phenomenal. That is fantastic. So, is there any of you that have questions you would like me to answer before that we wrap it up and then we are starting our day? I know I'm going to have a fantastic day today, and I'm very, very pleased. I think I really like that. I really like the fact that I can share with you this type of information. And next Monday, actually, I'm going to have a surprise for you. It's going to be deep. It's going to be deep. I'm going to bring you right inside what we do next week, next Monday. So just make sure to tune in. Pass some comment. For you that you watching this on a replay, you can comment something as well. Like, my little sister is saying like that she's agreeing with me. Well, you better be. Like, absolutely. Like, that's Monday is it's a day to accomplish things. She's writing in French, as you can see. Yeah, and for her, I mean, she's an artist. She's a great artist, which she's trying to find. She's finding her way right now into taking that great talent that she has to put it out. And that's what it is, when you are happy and when you have a talent, that talent needs to get out. Like, believe me, a talent, if you have a talent, that talent needs to get out. That is your responsibility, to find out what is it that you want to do and how you want to do it and how you can make it to fruition, which ultimately you can live out of it. So if you have a talent and you don't know how to develop it, and you haven't found out how you can monetize your talent, that should be a task. That should be something that you should write down and work at it and say, like, what can I do to bring that talent, and I can monetize this and I can live out of it. And if people, like Picasso and all those great artists, Salvador Dali, a lot of those people were not recognized, like Polak. A lot of those artists were not recognized while they were artists. They've been recognized and they've been seen after their work, after their death. So if you have a talent, you have the ability to develop it, and you have the desire to develop it, that means that this can become a source of revenue. The question is, you just have to think, how can I make it my full-time work or my full-time job, and I can live out of it? And if you're taking some time and you're working at it, you will find the way to make that your reality. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. I wish you a fantastic week. Make it productive. You have the talent and ability to do that and to enjoy a spectacular week. And I'll see you next Monday. Peace out.